Hi, thank you so much
Hi.
for coming.
My pleasure.
So tell me about yourself. What is it that you exactly do?
Well, what I do currently is my title is I'm a senior technical trainer, which means that at my company Unanet, which has a software product, I deliver classes to our clients, to our partners, and to our employees. So I'm doing the training either in a live group setting or in a virtual setting, but I also write the course material. I actually next week am delivering a class out in Denver, which is the first time that we've done something like that. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
That's really cool. So what moment or event actually inspired you to get into STEM in the first place?
I've always had a wide variety of interests around all areas of STEM. Originally, when I went to college, I was pre-med, and I wanted to be a doctor. I spent 3 years doing pre-med. And then lots of life circumstances sort of changed around me, and I needed to find a different way to go. And I ended up stepping more away from STEM and doing economics. I graduated with my degree actually in economics. But while I was doing that, I also started taking computer programming classes. Fell in love completely with computer programming. I already had a job lined up a month before I graduated, and I've worked in the IT field for the last 30 years.
That's amazing. What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment so far?
I think getting to a point in my life and in my career where I have a lot of varied experiences in my rear view so that I can mentor other people as they are really looking out the front window and where they want to go.
That's really amazing. What would you say has been your biggest challenge so far?
Early on, I would have to say being a woman in a man's world. I mean, that there were a lot of struggles and a lot of things that you had to overcome. In my first professional job, one of the first things they did, I was going through a program that when you got done with that program after 2 years, you became a systems engineer. And that meant a lot to me to get through that program. And at one point, there was like this 10-week course that you had to go down to Texas and take and be away from home. I was in a class of 23, 3 women. And, you know, I thought I had experienced all of my #MeToo movements in high school and college, and that was not the case. And so I'm looking back 30 years, and we're still struggling with that. And it's amazing to me that that is still a challenge that we have to face, and we shouldn't be.
Yeah, I completely agree. On a completely different track though, what are some hobbies that you like to do outside of your work?
Oh, hobbies, gosh. I love to spoil my grandchildren. That's probably my #1 hobby. I enjoy really doing anything with my husband. We love to hike, we love to go to movies, we love to travel. I love to read, I just don't end up having a lot of time for that. And I'm also very active in my church. And so I find giving to the community and going on mission trips and things of that nature, those are the things that really fulfill me outside of work.
That's good. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, how have you dealt with gender disparity?
You really have to be strong. I mean, that's the #1 thing. You have to be stronger than what that person of the opposite sex thinks they are. You have to have your voice, and you have to present yourself as someone strong. I think very often we are, as we're being raised, we're raised to have a weak presence and a limp handshake. But I loved your handshake because we did this and we were strong. And your voice is very strong. And you have to have that, because it's not just finding your voice where you speak your mind, you speak your presence, you speak your knowledge, but you have to also speak to be heard as well.
That's inspirational. Well, in the end, what advice would you give to younger girls out there who want to get into STEM?
You know, just do everything that you want to do. If it's something that you want to do with biology, go for it. If you want to go out into chemistry and physics, if you want to get into engineering, do it. Find a school that supports you in that. I personally graduated from Sweetbriar College, which is an all-women's college. Don't rule out a single-sex school for yourself either, because you will find a sisterhood and a support system. Because when you're in a co-ed classroom, the males will want to dominate and they'll do everything they can to do that. When you're in a single-sex classroom, everybody's on equal footing, and you learn also how to find your voice in that. Sweetbriar College is also one of 2 all-women's colleges in all of the United States that has an accredited engineering program. But whatever it is that you've got in your passion, because work should never be something that you don't want to look forward to. You want to wake up every morning and say, I can't wait to get out there and make a difference.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful.